Seems a lot of people have missed the point of my response to CIG's handling of a false excessive griefing claim. People are hyper-focusing on the gameplay and the name-calling instead of seeing the bigger picture. The Carrick medbed is just a cause that highlights the issue. The Carrick's medbed is an easy, replicable example of setting up the circumstances that leads to the issue. Fixing infinite spawns on the medbed removes a cause, but it doesn't address the issue. The actual issue stems from the handling of a claim of excessive griefing, in which it appears that CIG has handed out a warning based on a screenshot. This is the weaponization of customer service to attack players outside the game space. And to be honest, I really hope that CIG only took the screenshot into account, because the alternative is much worse. CIG cut off any possible chance of a response from Captain Dirty to defend himself, and they suppressed any further discussion highlighting the issue for the rest of the community. And while CIG has rules for posting on Spectrum, there is no other way to highlight the problem on their platform to make the rest of the community aware of this. We're expected to trust CIG's judgment, and then we're not given the opportunity to defend ourselves when we have evidence contrary to their judgment. Captain Dirty has a video of the event, which is more than ample evidence to prove that the Carrick owner was more than willing to keep fighting back, engaging in gameplay, and keeping the situation going. I didn't see any griefing in there, just players engaging in gameplay, and a lot of other players agree. If CIG only took the screenshot into account for the claim, then it could be chalked up to an innocent mistake. But if they took the screenshot, the video, and in-game logs of the hit into account, then what we're looking at is a scenario where all someone has to do is keep coming back over and over again, regardless if they lose every fight. And eventually, CIG will side with a persistent player and punish the other group. That should bother you. It bothers me, which is why I'm investing time and effort into highlighting this issue. We were sold a game where conflict is present and combat can happen, regardless if you want it or not, regardless if it's an NPC or another player. This issue highlights the potential erosion of PvP interactions in the persistent universe of Star Citizen, and it looks like CIG is trying to cover it up. I want to be wrong on this, I really do, but we don't know how many other players have been in this situation, and we've seen CIG say one thing in the past and then change course or even backflip on it. So where do we go from here? To start, make sure you're focused on the right issue. The Carrick's medbed is not the issue. It's a cause that led to this issue. The issue is that players are weaponizing customer service to attack other players outside the gameplay space, and CIG is enabling it. After that, bring this issue up within your communities. If anyone is okay with weaponizing customer support to attack players outside the game space, you should distance yourself from them, because that is real griefing. It shouldn't be tolerated by the Star Citizen community, and it definitely shouldn't be tolerated by CIG at all. And keep discussing this issue until you're happy with CIG's response. Don't go flooding customer support with hypothetical situations. You will just get cookie cutter responses, and players with unique issues that can only be handled by customer support have to wait longer to get a response. And don't go getting yourselves banned on Spectrum for violating their forum rules as well. Getting bans there isn't a badge of honor, and it doesn't help with generating genuine dialogue when broaching topics that can be divisive amongst the community. For me, I have two goals set that I'm aiming to achieve here. I want to collect experiences from other players where they believe customer service was weaponized and used against them. And the other goal is I want to get a response from CIG on their stance on the weaponization of customer service to attack players outside the gameplay space. If you do have an experience that you would like to share where you believe customer service was weaponized against you, join our public guilded server, linked in the description below, and make a post in our forums. Make sure you present your evidence, and make sure you sanitize any screenshots of customer service names and avatars. I don't want to start a witch hunt against individual employees at CIG, because for all we know, they could just be following company policy. For CIG, I would like to see a response about the weaponization of customer service via a Spectrum post. CIG needs to make a clear stance on this subject in front of the entire community. Silence isn't an acceptable response at all. I'm going to continue pursuing this problem until CIG gives the community a response on this. Something that I'd like to point out is that we are on the cusp of a new major patch and a new ship variant being added to the game, causing this initiative to potentially fall off to the wayside because of all the new shinies distracting the community. We're not telling anyone to not play 318. I'm not telling anyone to not buy the new ship. But what I am saying is don't let yourselves get distracted. This issue will persist irrespective of what events, releases, and announcements that CIG decide to make or do. The standard that you walk past is a standard that you accept, and if you want to continue being able to play Star Citizen without second guessing every action you take, then you shouldn't be walking past this issue either.